Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another Arknights reaction. After getting through all the Lapland stuff, we are now back to the regular old me getting into the comments and seeing what people want to hear. And today we have one from Voltorian Games in the comments of the last one, and like 27 or so people wanted me to get to this one as per the like ratio, so here we are. This one's kind of a random pick in my eyes. I don't know what event it's for or anything, and while I'm usually going into these blind, I still have no starting point of expectation, no character attached or anything, or what's going to be happening here. So I guess without further ado, let's go. Okay, the organ. Ooh. Bringing in the beat. I'm gonna take a wild shot in the dark here. Is this for penance? I don't know why it just started giving me that energy. Ooh, going heavy. Like, I don't know her character that well, but I could see this kind of fitting, maybe. Basically, only know sentenced, so it's definitely not the same sound, but God, oh, those synths. This has got to be Erik Castro. This sounds like his crispy, clean work, dude. Crispiness on his beats is just, oh, it's so delicious. I think it's probably the organ giving me the penance thought. A little bit of the vocals. Feels kind of gothic. But not at all gothic once we get to this epic beat. It's just so clubby. And that nice envelope out. I think it was supposed to loop there too. It sounded like it was going somewhere, so maybe. So I went ahead and confirmed for myself that that is Erik Castro. I mean, I wasn't at all concerned that I was wrong there. His sound is pretty much locked into my brain as a telltale standard of electronic. He just knows exactly what he's doing. It's basically clear as day that it's him whenever I hear those crispy clear synths, just because that's my telltale factor of his work. It's insane, and I don't know how he does it, but he does it so well every single time. Doesn't matter the song, doesn't matter the intricacies, doesn't matter how many layers there are. He just manages to clear and clean everything up so beautifully, and it makes the whole song sound just beautiful. Also, I was kind of trying to back off my opinion of maybe it being penance related by the end, but I didn't want to like step over my own thoughts in the middle of that and try to explain myself. So I was starting to feel like this is too modern for penance, because again, with Sentenced being the only exposure I've really had to her character, I feel like it would have been too modernized for her, but Another character popped into my head that it might be Virtuosa. Of course, I'm not really more familiar with her character than I am Penance in any way, but it just felt a little bit more modern, like they were trying to blend some of that more traditional sound and some more modern sound, which I do believe I've heard in Virtuosa's stuff before. So I'm sitting here like, maybe, but it's also very possible that I am off the mark there. There are how many characters in this game? I have no clue who's going to have what themes, what's going to be related to who, what may or may not be close or completely different parts of the world. So it's very difficult for me at times to try and suss those out, but I do try my best to try and figure out the context of the characters just through listening to the music. That's kind of part of my shtick here, but also just overall, what a great simple song. That beat was just bumping all the way through it. I love that blend kind of coming in off the tails of that more traditional stuff and just slamming straight into all of that crispy clear synth and just that bass kick rocking all the way through. I loved how modern and clubby that center part was and how it still managed to both successfully slide into that and back out of it by the end. I think it can be a lot more challenging a lot of times to go back into something that you started from, because a lot of the time you're trying to evolve the song and you don't want it to get too stale. You want it to continue moving on and have a full story by the end of it. But I think this one must be some sort of a song that's played during the main gameplay, a menu theme even. It's probably a battle theme or something given the energy it has, but it's probably meant to loop, like I said at the very end. So I'm not surprised that it is kind of constructed to go back to that and create that seamless experience for those who are playing the game. So in all, great composition as always. Erik knocking it out of the park as always. Just, I cannot get over his ability to mix so well. I would love to pick his brain someday, but we'll see what the fates have in store. And while I said there's not that much mud or any of that extra conflicting energy underneath the song, it still had just enough layers and specifically little synths and like sound effects that were kind of just scattered through. I wouldn't say it's necessarily a sound design thing in this case because they were a lot more minimally sparse all the way through. It wasn't like there was some overarching sound that was trying to connect everything throughout. Honestly, I think the beat was doing that in this case. It wasn't like a synth that was constantly droning through. It was just the beat constantly bumping, kept everything in line all the way through the song. So I don't think there was as much sound design that was locking it all together like it usually is from Erik. That's one of his other things he does really well, is finding a way to somehow glue all that stuff together, usually by using some sort of a synth drone or just a very specific motif sound that keeps coming back or stays steady all the way through. In this case, I think it was just the beat. It was just heavy enough and consistent enough. It was just straightforward fours that you could just listen to it and not get fatigued. There was enough movement throughout, enough little sound design stuff scattered throughout that didn't make you feel like you were getting bored at all by the end of it. And as always, that's the mark of a talented composer, somebody who can make something that can loop, but also not get fatiguing, boring, or tiring by the end. So another banger from Erik Castro. Big shocker, said nobody. But I guess that'll be the end of this video. So thank you all so very much for watching. Thank you, Voltorian, for putting this into the comments and everybody who liked it so I could see it. And of course, if you have anything else you want to put in the comments that I may get to next time, be my guest. I will do my best. And of course, if you just like this video and you want to follow me and support me for more in the future, you know how to do all that. And I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye!